Hello everyone, welcome back to Scotland, and this is Scotland Part 2, the landscape journey. And just to prove that we are in Scotland, if I flip you around, you will most likely see one of the most iconic and most photographed locations in all of Scotland, the White Cottage, which is about here in Glencoe, with the broad mountains behind. And as you can see, we've got some snow still on the mountains. And if we spin you all around, we've got the wonders of the Scottish scenery here in Glencoe. And just to prove it's not just a photographic trip, here's the family. Say hello, guys. They're all with me. So I've got a mix family with photography, which is an absolutely epic mixture. Yeah, and I'm going to take my first images here at the Lagangarbh Hut. This beautiful, beautiful location. Photographed within an inch of its life, but I haven't photographed it yet. So I'm going to take a few shots, and I'm already seeing my first composition here that I like, with the river here running along towards the hut and with the mountains in the background. And again, with the snow on the mountains, they look absolutely epic today. Cloud is high, but it is dispersed, so I will get some nice soft light. But it'd be nice if the sun came through and just lit up the cottage. But, you know, I'm here for an hour. I get what I can. I'm just so lucky and happy to be here. So let's plough on. Yeah, so camera in hand, OM1 Mark II. I've got the 12-100, the most versatile lens on the planet. And I love the line of this stream that heads us on down to the hut, and I'm looking straight in on the hut, which is cool. And I'm just taking a 16:9, trying to get the whole massif of the mountains in behind. And I'm going to have to kind of underexpose this a little bit by a stop or two, because it's very blown out behind with the snow and with the sky. So yeah, so far so good. I also like another one here where I kind of punch in a little bit on the actual house itself. The problem with any of these spots is that there's lots of people around, so I'm having to kind of pick and choose when I click the shutter, because there's people in all different coloured coats and everything walking in front of the house. So I just kind of have to just wait around, pick my moment, and also wait for the light. But if any of these first images worked out from this location, well, here they are. So I've just made my way down closer to the river, closer to the hut. And I'm seeing this nice little shot here in portrait mode with the river in the foreground, the White Cottage in the background, and the mountain behind with the snow. Yeah, I'm going to focus in on the cottage with the river in the foreground and the angle of the slope of the mountain in the background. I'm going to play around with aspect ratio a bit. The temptation in a situation like this is to do everything in 16:9, but I'm punching in a little bit with a 4:3 in portrait mode just for this shot. So, and I might even bracket it. I'm on a tripod, just given it just depends on the clouds and the sun behind. But I might even bracket this shot. But yeah, it's a nice little shot. Interesting enough. Again, probably shot to within an inch of its life by every photographer on the planet. But I haven't done it yet. So if this little photograph here works out, well, here it is. So I've just come on downstream a little bit, and this will be my last location at the White Cottage before I overdo it. But I'm kind of looking at that shot there with the river in the foreground, the cottage in the bottom right third, which is just about there, and then with the massif of the mountains behind. The problem I have is that this guy here has decided to drive his thing all the way down the track and park right on the river's edge, which is annoying many photographers and people trying to get photos. But he does not care. He obviously camped there overnight, but boo-hoo to you, mate. But that's my shot there. Worst case scenario, if I go wide, I'll clone him out of it. But I think I'll just get him out of frame by taking that shot. Yeah, so let's get at it here. So once again, I just have to be patient and wait for a few people to walk through the frame. That is the issue here with these type of locations. But I've already shot a few brackets. I'm probably going to do a long exposure here just to try and do some effects with the clouds and with the sky and see what I can get, just something different. So if any of these images worked out from this final location here at the White Cottage, well, here they are. There you go, so that's a bucket list location ticked off. Kind of just had to do it. The White House behind me. Hopefully those images worked out okay, and just hopefully there's something that I'm happy with and that I can take away from this wondrous location in Glencoe. The rest of the locations in this video are not going to be your stereotypical Scottish photographic wondrous locations. Are going to be more off track, more offbeat, just locations that myself and the family come across and anything that catches the eye. So I don't think we'll be seeing too many more iconic locations like this one, but I just knew I had to come here and get this as a location that I've always wanted to come to and always wanted to photograph, so hopefully it worked out. So for now, it's on back to the family and on to the next spot to photograph. Let's go. Hello everyone and welcome back. We were just driving down the road and again we just saw this sign from nowhere, a quick right turn to a location called the Pattack Falls, and as anyone who follows this channel knows that I like a good waterfall. Not necessarily the most spectacular waterfall, but contained within a lovely gorge here and a lot of lovely motion in the water. So if I flip you around, you can see the gorge. And this is the Pattack Falls coming down through the gorge and I guess it goes around the bend and comes out here. But yeah, some nice motion in the water here as it dispels down the river. This is also called the Pattack River, but a nice little spontaneous stop off as we were driving down the road. So I'm going to try and compose a few shots here. And again, I have to try and control the speed of the water, but I want to show the motion in the water here. We got some swirls coming around. We got the main flow heading off and down in the river. I'll set up here, work on some compositions, and just take my time again on this, the Pattack Falls. So let's see where we can get. So it's definitely wide angle time here. I've got the 8 to 25 mil wide angle. I've got an ND64, a polarizer on the front of my OM1 Mark II. Tricky here because there's a vertical drop down here that I really need to be careful, and the rocks are a little bit slippy, and I'm 55, so I'm not as flexible as I used to be, but let's see what we can get. So I've got ISO 200 here, f5.6, and I've got a 1.3 second exposure. Try and hold this as firm as possible. I've got a 2-second timer on, and I'm just taking in the whole environment here of the falls. I think I would need a longer exposure. Wow, I don't know, I've never gone this far handheld. I've gone out to 2.5 seconds. Yeah, not so bad. I've got a nice little conifer here in the foreground. So I'll just work on a few more images here. I'll try lots of different shutter speeds from this little bonus waterfall called the Pattack Falls, and if any of them worked out, well, here they are. We had only arrived in Scotland the other day, and we had driven for 8 hours, and we were just heading down the road after a long day's drive and checking into our Airbnb, and we were going down to the local village to get some supplies. And I drove by this lake, and I had driven by and I had to stop, jam on and reverse because I saw a picture, and I just jumped out and got the picture. After a long day's travel, the family weren't too impressed, but I forgot to record some video in my haste on that day. I just wanted to pop back here, show you the location, and then I'll show you the image at the end of this short clip. So this is a location called Loch Insh. We're in the Cairngorms, and if you see out in the distance, we got this sailboat, much windier today. And way off in the distance we have some mountains. But the other day when we were here, there was snow on those mountains. A lot of the snow has now disappeared. But I set myself up here and I just saw a shot with the lake and the sailboat in the foreground and the mountain in the distance behind. And I just thought it, it was just my very first shot of the week after a long day's travel. Yeah, so as I said, Loch Insh up in the Cairngorms near Aviemore. Beautiful location. There's osprey around here. There's all sorts of wildlife. But this first image I took, will be a memorable one because we had been traveling all day. So I know that image worked out because I've already processed it. So here is the image of this shot on the lake looking to the mountain with the snow on it at the time. Enjoy. So in the distance, you might see a kind of a castle here that I'm pointing to. And this is, it's not a castle, it's an old garrison built by the Redcoats called Ruthven Castle, Ruthven Garrison. And this garrison was built back in the day. So the English could, how do I say it? The English could keep an eye on the locals, let's put it that way. The garrison was burnt down. History will state that the English burnt it down as they were leaving. But I have it on good authority from a local that the local Scots warmed their arses as they were driving them out of Scotland. So two conflicting stories. But one thing that's certainly possible here is a decent shot of this old garrison. Now I've two things to worry about here. One is that the sun is behind. And the second is that there's a major road that runs along the back of it, so I have to pick and choose my timing. But the sun is starting to go down, and I'm starting to see some nice colour behind. So I'm going to hang around here, and it's crazy. Like I'm not sure if you can see it in the distance, but there's a large fire after taking hold on the mountain behind, with smoke coming out what looks like the garrison. I might wait for that just to calm down a bit before I shoot. I do have some time. But again, I think I'll get a nice shot of this with the snow on the mountains behind. I'll probably bracket it. Maybe not. It just depends. I'll have the tripod behind me, so maybe not possible. Or anyone ever done a bracket handheld? It's worth a try. But I'm going to bide my time here at Ruthven Garrison. And not a structure that you will see in any tourist map, not a structure that you will go out of your way to photograph, but this is a structure that's catching my eye in the local area where I am. So I'm going to take one or two shots here, and if they worked out, well, here they are. Hello everyone and welcome back. We were just driving along on a family day out here in Scotland, and we passed over this old stone arch bridge and saw this lovely river flowing, very fast flowing river. And I saw some rocks out on the river that I thought to myself, wow, we've just pulled in there quickly on the side of the road. I might be able to get out here and get a few shots. So if I just flip it around, you can see the old bridge there and the river flowing down. And there's some nice swirls in the water here. And then there's a few cascades as the river flows on down through the gorge. Now, I don't think there's any way down there for me. Maybe a spot there I can get to. But it's just a lovely, peaceful location. So certainly what I'm going to try and do here is focus on the bridge itself. Just lovely architecture in the bridge. And then the river will more than likely just be some foreground to that bridge and the main focus of the photo. So I'm just going to spend a few minutes here because I've got the family looking over my shoulder and they ain't too happy every time I want to pop out and record a video. They're just up there. Say hello, everyone. Oh, missed them. Sorry, you're out. All very enthusiastic. Yeah, all extremely enthusiastic with a photographer on board. You can only imagine their pain. But anyway, I'm going to spend just a few minutes here because otherwise they won't speak to me for the rest of the day. A few minutes here, get a few photographs of this river, which I've no idea what the name of it is. I might add it on in the video. And this lovely stone arch bridge behind me. So if any of these photographs worked out, well, here they are. So you join me here on the banks of Loch Ness and the amazing spectacle that is Urquhart Castle. And as you can see as I pan around, it really is one of the most strikingly beautiful locations in all of Scotland. You have the main ruins of the castle here, and already early morning there are large crowds here to view the magnificence of Loch Ness and the views from this point. It really is spectacular. It's quite a chilly morning. Hat, coats on, gloves required, but the sun is out. The snow is still on the mountains in the distance, and it's just an absolutely wonderful location. And this is going to be my last stop on my landscape tour of Scotland with the family, and it'll be an epic location to end the video. So I'm going to spend some time here just taking in the sights, composing some shots, and at the end of this little sequence of videos I'll show you the shots, and hopefully they turned out okay. You know, this castle has been the scene of many battles over the years between the English and the Scots, and you can see why, because of its prominent location. But yeah, let's take a little journey around Urquhart Castle, take in the spectacle of Loch Ness, and enjoy a photographic trip of this wonderful, wonderful monument of Scottish culture. Let's do it. Scotland never fails to amaze me. We were on our way back to our lodgings for the evening, and we saw this little sign leading up a little track to say Loch Eilein, and literally 5 minutes from our lodgings. And look at the sky, look at the beauty that surrounds us. But as you can see out here in the loch, we got this old fort built on the loch. What a stunning location. So listen guys, I need to take a photograph of this. So let's see what we can get here. Yeah, so one or two compositions just jumping out at me. I'm not sure we can get it, but there's still snow in the mountains in the background. But I got one or two rocks here in the foreground. I have a rock just out there, which I might use as some foreground interest to frame up a shot, something like that. The trees here just giving a little bit of depth to the photo. And I have some more rocks just here, again, some foreground interest, something like that, looking out to the old castle in the lake. I've no idea what the castle is called, but look at that stunning scenery. So it's OM1 Mark II and the 8-25, and I'm going to have to bracket a couple of shots here, certainly because of the highlights in the sky. It's very bright today, very cold but very bright. So I'm going to compose a few shots here in this wonderful location, Loch Eilein it's called, near Kingoosey, near Aviemore in the Cairngorms. Just idyllic. Anyway, if any of these shots worked out, here they are. And I think here at Loch Eilein is a good place to wrap up this video, this landscape trip around Scotland. What an amazing week we've had here in the Cairngorms. We've had amazing weather. We've barely seen rain. We had snow on the way here, which is snow-capped the mountains, you know, which afforded me some dramatic mountains landscape shots with the snow on those mountains. We have been really blessed. So thank you all for joining me once again. Please, if you're new to the channel, I'd appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. Also, if you like this content, a thumbs up, and feel free to comment. I'll answer every comment that I'll see. So thank you to everyone who's watched this video and joined me on this little trip of Scotland to places we visited as a family. I hope the shots have worked out okay, because I've tried so hard, and I hope to God I'm improving my landscape photography. So until next time, Slán, goodbye.